I was blessed to be taking a long ride in the truck with a dear friend and brother the other day, and it was during Snowpocalypse 2025 here in eastern Oklahoma, and we'd probably gotten 6 or 7 inches of snow to this point, which is unheard of in this area. And as I sit here recording right now, there's between 9 and 12 inches on the ground right here at Bear Camp. But we were driving around yesterday, restless, stirred in the spirit, looking for something to do. And we got our tasking from the Creator. A friend, a brother, was getting a ride home from work, and they live in the mountains around here. And you know how some of these mountain roads are. You know, you're going downgrade or upgrade, and halfway through there's a 90-degree turn or a 120-degree turn, a switchback on the road. Well, they hit one of those, and they turned the wheel, but the vehicle didn't turn, and they almost slid down into the ravine on the side of the mountain. But by the grace of the Most High, a tree caught them. And so they were stuck on the side of the road, and they reached out to my brother, who was in the passenger seat of my truck, and said, "Hey, we need help." Cool. We were looking for something to do. So we went out there to use the winch on the front of my 1-ton truck and do some creative rigging and pull them back up onto the road, and they went on their merry way. But in the process of going there and doing that work and then coming back, one of the things that I was blessed to be talking to my brother about, Buckets and Bibles is his YouTube channel, Buckets and Bibles. We were talking about the concept of what if. What if? You know, so many of us are in the preparedness space, right? Prepper, survivalist, pick your label. And we focus necessarily on all of the negative indicators. Russia and China and Iran and BRICS and Ukraine and the economy and the politicians and the blah, blah, blah. And we focus on those things to try to read the tea leaves, assess the indicators to the best of our ability to adequately prepare for the preservation of life. The preservation of life physically. To what end? See, we forget oftentimes that we are spiritual beings with a shot at eternity by the blood of Messiah that are having a temporary physical experience. That it is not, this life is not a physical experience where we have temporary spiritual experiences. You are a spiritual being. You are a soul, not the flesh meat suit that the soul embodies. I see the Father tells Jeremiah, "I knew you before you were formed in the womb." That means that you could be known before you had a body. That means that you are not your body. Now, you should take care of your body. Just like a driver gets into a vehicle, the driver occupies the vehicle, and the vehicle needs to have fuel, and it needs to be properly maintained, and the tires need to be aired up, and you need to have a roadside emergency kit, and a first aid kit, and a fire extinguisher, and all the kit that goes with the vehicle. And on occasion, when the engine makes a weird noise or an indicator light comes on, you need to take it to a professional and get it checked out so that the vehicle doesn't break down. But the driver is not the vehicle. Just like your soul drives your body. Your body is occupied by the soul. And we focus on these things that lead us to the preservation of life physically, as one should, because we shouldn't be in a hurry to die physically. I'm not in a hurry to die physically, although I know the disposition of my eternal soul. I know where I'm going. I know where everybody I love is going. Praise Yah. That issue is settled for me. I've baptized all of my children, not as babies, but as willing participants in a covenant with the Creator of the universe by the blood of the Son. All of my friends are firm believers. Everybody I love is saved and doing the things. Okay, so I'm not in a rush to die, but I'm not afraid of dying either. But we focus on all these negative indicators. What if Russia nukes us? What if China takes Taiwan? What if the conflict in Israel spills over to a wider Middle Eastern conflict? What if the economy crashes? What if the politicians continue to fleece the American people and the people of the world? And I'm here to tell you, we owe it to ourselves to spend at least as much time thinking about what if positively as we do negatively. What if we develop a product that saves 140 people's lives? What if we develop a ministry that has moved millions of pounds of relief aid and donated thousands of Bibles and prayed with thousands of people and baptized hundreds of people and moved millions of pounds, hundreds of thousands of tons of debris? What if we develop a ministry that forsakes not the widow and the orphan? And we have a positive, lifetime, eternal impact on these people. What if you get the promotion? What if she says yes? What if you build that house and you fill it full of people that you love and you live a good life? What if you finally cried out for help and confessed that Yeshua is Messiah and the old you dies? Praise Yah, the old you dies so that you can live unto life. What if? What if instead of being focused on fear, we were focused on hope? What if instead of being focused on hate, we were focused on love? What if instead of being focused on guilt, we were focused on forgiveness? How much different would our life look? See, you get what you focus on. Oprah would call this the law of attraction, The Secret. Remember that book? And the law of attraction has been, like most things, has been commoditized and turned into some kind of fast food spirituality. But the idea behind that, and I'm not saying that I endorse it, but the idea behind it is that you need to be attractive to the things that you want in life. And what does that mean? And I've heard it said, you either believe in the law of attraction or you believe in chaos. Well, my God is not the God of chaos. He's the God of order. If you have a wife or a girlfriend or a husband or a boyfriend, you had to be attractive to them in some way. See, attraction is the opposite of force, right? You could be with that person. You could force that person to be with you, or you could attract that person to you. A young brother I have counseled who's looking for a wife, they're like, how do I find a wife? And the answer is be the kind of person that a wife would want to be with. Get your poop in a group. Be strong in your faith. Have your finances figured out. Be gainfully employed. Be responsible. Those kinds of things. Stability, right? That's attractive to a good woman, which is how you find a good woman. See what I'm saying? The Father tells us, my people suffer for a lack of vision. And if your vision is filled up with all the negative what ifs, rather than the positive what ifs, what you focus on, you will get. So I am trying to spend more time thinking positively in my what if, to spend at least as much time. If I spend 10 minutes thinking about all the terrible things that could happen, I owe it to myself and to my family, to my congregation, to y'all, to the people that I employ, to think positively about what if. What if we buy this building and turn it into a church? What if we hire these people and it's wonderful? What if we do the product development on this thing and we launch it and it saves even more lives? What if I make a piece of content and it deeply resonates with one person? It also serves focusing on the positive. Excuse me, had to hydrate. I know many of y'all passively consume. You listen, you don't watch. And I get it. I do the same. Earbud crew. What's up, Earbud crew? What if we were, hopefully, realistic? What if the negative indicators didn't scare us? What if we truly feared nothing except Yahweh our Elohim, the Lord our God? We didn't fear other men. We didn't fear doctrines and dogmas. We didn't fear judgment. We didn't fear lack in our lives. The mantra of I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, smart enough, attractive enough, wealthy enough, fast enough, I'm not enough. One of my best friends, Dr. Trevor Wilkins, talks about this regularly, that most traumas go back to I'm not good enough. Newsflash, you were never meant to be good enough. That's where Messiah comes in. And you were never meant to seek the approval of anyone but the Creator. And it's all those things, all those life situations, all those relationships that wound us. And we carry those things around because we'd rather focus on guilt than forgiveness. We'd rather be stuck in the negative than the positive. And you reap what you sow. And if you put out constant negativity, that's what you will receive. And so we owe it to ourselves to spend time positively in the what if. What if the world doesn't end and we squandered this one life we were given, this one physical life, squandered it, stuck in cycles and patterns of fear, instead of truly living, instead of being the hands and feet of the Most High, instead of loving our neighbor as ourself, instead of forsaking not the widow and the orphan, raising up our children in the way that they should go so they do not depart from it when they are older, instead of having a huge impact on the physical kingdom of the Most High, and teaching and leading and loving His children. Oh, Russia's got nukes. Russia's had nukes my entire life. They might use them one day. What changes if they do? We will all die, brothers and sisters. None of us is getting out of this thing alive. I'm not Elijah. I'm not Enoch. And unless we're in tribulation, where some of us may make it through to the end to see the glorious face of Messiah when He returns, we're gonna die. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust, you will be dirt again. You and I will both be worm food. And for what? What if instead of being paralyzed by fear, we were emboldened to action because of the love of the Most High and the blood of the Son? And there's nothing that we are allowed to fear other than Dad, the Creator. And to fear means to deeply respect. This is not an abusive relationship. It means we deeply respect Dad. Because without him, we wouldn't be here. And he knows what we need. And he's the best father that ever was, that ever is to come. And he takes care of his kiddos because he loves them. And what if we leaned into that instead of this sense of lack and fear and guilt and shame and hate and hurt? And found one kernel of truth, one positivity, one single candle in the darkness. See, the light shines into the darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not. One candle puts the darkness at bay. It does not overcome it. The darkness cannot win. And it costs nothing for a candle to light another candle. The candle loses no energy. And it's exponential, not linear. You go from 1 to 2 to 4 to 8 to 16 to 32 to 64 to 128 to 256 to 512 to 1024, 2048, 4096. It's not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's exponential. That's how powerful the light is. That's how powerful the positivity is. And this is not me trying to be some self-help motivational guru. These are just facts that I'm trying to apply to my life too. What if it was good? Now I have a it's not good plan. I have sheep and food storage and cows and chickens and turkeys and guns and radios and fuel and 4x4 pickup trucks and heavy equipment and fences and gates and land and friends and network, and I have all that. Praise the Most High, I have all that. For what? Preservation of life. Which life? Because the most important preservation of life is a body of living water and a confession that Yeshua is Messiah, that Jesus is the Christ, and that you will walk in his ways to the best of your ability. And an outpouring of begging for the indwelling of the Ruach HaKodesh, the Holy Spirit, so that you might live unto life. And that's the best what if there is. What if we get to see Dad face to face at the end of an age? What if there's no more pain and suffering? What if there's no more evil? What if there's no more unrighteousness? There's no more lying. There's no more mistruths, disinformation. There's no more bloodshed. What if it's literally heaven on earth? Revelation 21. And we miss that because North Korea is launching nukes again, maybe. Wah. Oh, the economy had a stutter step. Wah. Spend time. I encourage you, spend time thinking about what if positively. Praying over what if positively. Meeting the Creator face to face by the blood of the Son. Because that's what really matters. What if it was good, y'all? I love you guys. Shalom.